Leadership presentation by Victoria Clark. What is control in organizations? Control in an organization is the set of processes, information systems, and mechanisms that managers use to ensure that organizational activities and resources are aligned with strategy, to motivate desired behavior, to motivate or to measure performance, and to enable corrective action when performance deviates from plans. Control operates at multiple levels, i.e., behavior, outcomes, culture. It can be implemented through markets, bureaucratic rules, or clan based mechanisms. Key functions of control: alignment of behavior and strategy. Control translates strategy into measurable targets and guides day to day actions so that organizational activity produces the intended outcomes. Measurement and feedback. Control systems provide measurements, KPIs, financial metrics, non financial metrics, feedback, and performance reporting for corrective action. Motivation and accountability. Control shapes incentives, appraisal, and reward structures. This influences employee decisions and efforts. Coordination and resource allocation. Control coordinates interdependent activities and allocates scarce resources across units/projects. Adaptation versus diagnosis. Contemporary MCS research distinguishes diagnostic controls from interactive controls. The literature stresses choosing a mix of control depending on strategy, environment, and culture. The balanced scorecard. What is it? What is the Balanced Scorecard? Kaplan and Norton, 1992. It is a strategic performance management system that supplements traditional financial measures with three additional perspectives: customer, internal process, and learning and growth, so organizations measure the drivers of future performance, not only historical financial outcomes. The BSC translates vision and strategy into a coherent set of performance measures and initiatives. The Balanced Scorecard, how it works. Translate vision and strategy into objectives. Senior leaders specify a small number of strategic objectives under each BSC perspectives: financial, customer, internal processes, learning, and growth. Select measures and targets. For each objective, choose 1 to 3 KPIs, set targets, and define how performance will be measured. Financial measures remain the ultimate outcome metrics, while non financial KPIs act as drivers. Link initiatives and projects. Connect strategic initiatives and budgets to the KPIs. Communicate and align. Cascade objectives and measures to business units and individual levels so daily activities align with strategy. Monitor, learn, and adjust. Use the BSC for routine reporting, diagnostic monitoring, and a variance from targets, and for interactive strategic discussion where the uncertainties exist. How financial controls are used inside the Balanced Scorecard. Financial perspectives Financial perspective as outcome control. In the Balanced Scorecard, traditional financial controls, i.e., profitability, ROI, return on investment, and cash flow, remain critical as the lagging outcome measures. They show whether strategy is producing a shareholder/stakeholder value. The financial perspective answers: is this strategy working financially? And thus anchors the scorecard. How budgetary controls are used inside the Balanced Scorecard. Budgets link strategy to resources. Scholarly work emphasizes that budgeting and accounting systems are integral parts of organizational control. These systems allocate resources to initiatives in the Balanced Scorecard, set spending limits, and provide the accounting data used for financial KPIs. Budgets, therefore, operationalize strategy by turning strategic initiatives into funding plans and cash flows. Diagnostic and interactive uses of budgets with balanced scorecards. The diagnostic role. Budgets are used to monitor actual versus planned expenditures and financial KPIs. Variances trigger corrective action. Actions like cost control and resource reallocations are standard budgeting practices integrated into the balanced scorecard reporting cycle. Interactive role. Where strategic uncertainty exists, managers may use rolling forecast, reforecasting, and strategic reviews to explore strategy execution. These are consistent with the balanced scorecard's emphasis on learning/growth metrics. Empirical studies note organizations sometimes revert from a balanced scorecard to strict budgetary control if implementation is incomplete or pressures for short-term control dominate. Performance measurement and incentives. Financial KPIs tied to budgets are often linked to incentives and performance appraisal systems. The literature warns that incentive design must align non-financial measures and budgets. Integrated reporting, scorecard plus budget plus rewards, improves alignment when well designed. Practical mechanisms used: budgeted income statements/capital budgets tied to strategic projects on the scorecard. Variance analysis. There are reported These are reported alongside the balanced scorecard dashboards to show how spending contributed to KPI movement. Rolling forecast and driver-based models to update projections when process/customer metrics change. Organizational control is a vital management function that ensures activities, resources, and employee behaviors align with strategic objectives. The scholarly literature consistently emphasizes that effective control systems not only monitor performance, but also motivate, coordinate, and guide decision making throughout an organization. Among contemporary control systems, the balanced scorecard remains one of the most influential tools for translating strategy into measurable results. By integrating financial and non financial perspectives, it provides a holistic view of performance and fosters both accountability and learning. Within this framework, budgetary and financial controls serve as the backbone that connects strategic objectives to measurable outcomes, enabling leaders to allocate resources efficiently and take corrective action when necessary. When applied effectively, the balanced scorecard aligns day-to-day operations with long-term goals, supports informed financial management, and reinforces an organization's capacity to achieve sustained success. References: Flamholtz E.G. 1983, Accounting, Budgeting, and Control Systems in Their Organizational Context. Kaplan R.S. and Norton D.P. 1999, The Balanced Scorecard Measures That Drive Performance. Harvard Business Review. Uchi W.G. 1979, A Conceptual Framework for the Design of Organizational Control Mechanisms. Tause A. Patrick V. M. and Vera. D. 30 Years with the Balanced Scorecard, What We Have Learned. 1993. Verberg R. M. Van den Bosch F.A. J. and Benders. J. 2017. The Role of Organizational Control Systems in Employees' Organizational Trust. Thank you for listening to my presentation, Victoria Clark.